Well, we've got a new Attorney General in New Hampshire, Joe Foster, former Senate Majority Leader from Nashua. But when it comes to the Stand Your Ground law, Joe Foster's just like the last sheriff in town. He made it clear last week that he indeed supports repeal of that law, agrees with law enforcement that basically allowing people to use deadly force in public to respond to threats of force rather than have to try and retreat actually increases the likelihood of violent events that can have really disastrous consequences. So he called on the legislature to take another look at repealing Stand Your Ground. As we've talked about in the last several months here, General Foster's problem is it wasn't too long ago, in fact in May, that the New Hampshire State Senate took a look at repealing that Stand Your Ground law and rejected it by a vote of 19-5. Even Senate Democrats, as a majority, were in favor of essentially shelving that bill by tabling it. And this verdict in the George Zimmerman case, acquitting him of killing Trayvon Martin down in Florida, really doesn't fundamentally change the politics here in New Hampshire. One of the reasons, of course, is that Mr. Zimmerman didn't use the Stand Your Ground defense because he didn't have to. Now, he may well have to use it if he's sued in civil court for damages and being responsible for Trayvon Martin's death. But in addition, of course, Florida's Stand Your Ground law is much more restrictive than New Hampshire's. It gives New Hampshire's makes it quite clear that you have to be the victim of someone threatening you with deadly force in order to respond with deadly force here. I think most importantly and practically, the problems that General Foster is going to have with repealing Stand Your Ground is, to this point, since the law has been in place almost 2 years now, there really hasn't been any incident that he can point to. So without that kind of incident, certainly between now and the 2014 elections in New Hampshire, I don't see the balance of power on this issue changing.